I want to hit big. I'm a gambling man.
Yes.
I'm a gambling man. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Blue Jays Today, where we always have something to say about the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm your host, Adam Peddle.
And I'm your host, Nicholas Playlog. And today we're going to be talking to you about a question that we asked on our Instagram. We got a great response from it. Everyone seemed to be very up in arms about this question. We had guys on very opposite sides of the spectrum. The question was, would you guys rather have or rather see the Toronto Blue Jays bring in Ha-Seong Kim or Kolten Wong? Before we get into that, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, hit the notification button, become a Patreon member. You know the drill. So this is the question. Would you rather have Kolten Wong or Ha-Seong Kim on the Toronto Blue Jays? We did do a video on Kolten Wong, kind of talking about, because he's been rumored a lot. We've been in talks with him for a little while now. For those of you who didn't see it, though, would you want to quickly recap who Kolten Wong is and what he does?
Absolutely. So those who didn't see the video, Kolten Wong, he's a 30-year-old second baseman. He's won 2 Gold Gloves in his career. He's not known for the bats. His career average is still .261. However, his slugging is only .384, so he's not known for a power guy, just a single slapper. And he's up for a free agency this year, and people are saying, if we don't get DJ, we're going to get Kolten Wong. And the price range on him in the market value is about $10 million. I know that you said a little bit more he'd be. I think he'd be a little bit less. Honestly, he's one of those guys that can go either way. It's all up in the air. But a guy who can go either way in a farther drastic type of value is Ha-Seong Kim, because with this COVID-ridden season, we don't know what kind of money someone from the KBO who put up good numbers in the KBO could even, what kind of price would that even be? Yeah, no idea.
Okay, yeah. No, you're absolutely right, bro. I think Kolten Wong agrees with me on the higher. I think he's the one guy who's definitely on my side.
I mean,
sure, he's like, you know what? I'm worth $10 million. I'm worth $100 million.
Hey, buddy, start hitting some homers, and it'll pay you $15 million a year.
See.
Okay.
You know what? Ha-Seong Kim isn't necessarily known for the homers, but he did okay last year.
He did pretty good last year.
He did pretty good last year.
Really good.
This is his stats from last year. So in 2020, he had 533 at-bats. This is in the KBO, okay, so not in the major leagues. 533 at-bats. He had 111 runs, 30 home runs, 109 RBIs, 23 stolen bases, and the slash line was .306 batting average with a .397 on-base percentage and a .523 slugging. That's really, really good across the board.
Yes.
We're talking about somebody who is an all-star, and from my research, and I'm sure you discovered as well yourself, this is not the first season that he has done this the KBO.
No, his career average is .294. It's very similar across the board. Obviously, last year was definitely a better year for him, but still, .294 average with a .373 on-base percentage. And so I was looking at, like, obviously we know the big question mark around him is he played for the KBO. Those are KBO numbers. Is he going to do that in the major leagues? And throughout history, people haven't. And the only really guy who translated pretty well over from either the Japanese league or the KBO was Ichiro Suzuki, where in his final year in the Japanese league, he hit .387, and he came over to he came over to major leagues and still hit like .330-ish area, like varying on the year. Now, however, .387, he did not. Ha-Seong Kim did not hit .387.
No,
but there are other players who recently got signed from the Japanese league. And, you know, that's Tsugo on the Rays and Akiyama on the Cardinals. They're a little bit older than Ha-Seong Kim. This is the kicker, though.
Well, okay, I before we even get into that, we're talking about a guy right now who has 3,195 at-bats in his career in the KBO over 7 seasons.
Yeah.
When you tell me that, I think to myself, okay, well, how the fuck old is this guy? Like what, 30? Youngest? 31?
25.
He is 25 years old right now.
Yeah.
There is, realistically, this guy is still a kid. If we were in MLB territory, he might only be getting brought up right now, and if he was in someone's system, he might be considered still a prospect.
No, literally, the MLB said if he were to be signed, he's considered a top 100 prospect immediately. So I'm thinking of this guy as more of like his KBO stats are like minor league numbers. That's how I view this guy.
Okay.
You know? Not saying any disrespect to the KBO, but I mean, that's what it is. When you transfer from a foreign league to the MLB, your stats do drop off.
Yeah, and guys, there will be, like we have to account for that. The pitching is very different. Realistically, it's Major League Baseball, and no disrespect to the KBO at all, but typically you are getting stronger pitching performances.
Yes.
I found a very interesting, statistic projection model, and that is ZIPS, so ZIPS, and they are looking at what he's done in the KBO, and they're looking at what they are projecting him to do in the major leagues. And I thought it was really, really interesting. And they were looking at his last year, so 2020, and they related it to Dansby Swanson's year from last year. And they were saying that we think that if this guy was to be at the same level that he was last year in the major leagues, he would have had a season very similar to Dansby Swanson, who hit for 274 average, who hit for a 345 on base percentage, and a 464 slugging. They also then went on to project, and again, this is just a projection model. This isn't, what's going to happen here. But they went on to project that over 5 years, so if he was to come to the majors at 25 years old, for the next 5 years, this is on average the annual, bat that we can expect. And that would be a 270 average with a 344 on base percentage and a 490 slugging, 23 homers averaging, and 15 steals averaging for the next 5 seasons. What do you think about that?
I think it's just I think it's projections. Like, I see projections on Baseball Reference. I see it on MLB.com. And like, I can't take that as like, this is, now we got to pay this guy $20 million a year, whatever it might be. So, I mean, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. However, we have no idea. I see Ha-Seong Kim as a guy where, like we said last video, we're throwing a dart. It's just a dart throw. We're taking a chance. Upside, he could give those numbers. Those are his upside numbers, in my opinion. His downside numbers could be someone like recent signings in history, which was like Tsugo from the Rays, where he was hitting like 272 over in the Japan League. And obviously not as good, but last year he hit 192. Shortened season, I get it. But Akiyama, who hit 303 in the Japanese League last year, he came over and he hit 245, right? So again, shortened sample size, but you see a bit of a drop off, especially nowadays with the difference between MLB pitching and pitching over in KBO and Japanese leagues. So it's honestly, he might hit, he might not. I see it like minor league numbers where we're expecting a drop off, or we're expecting him to put up 273 numbers. Okay,
and I mean to hear that, and this guy, I also want to put out there, like his production in the KBO is on average like 40% better than the average player there. So this is somebody who is killing it in this league. He is absolutely annihilating it, and he has been doing that for many seasons now. Looking at his career numbers, what do you think? Do you want him? Do you want to have him on the team?
I absolutely want him on the team for the right price, because if we like Tsugo signed $2 million or $12 million for 2 years. Akiyama signed 3 years, $21 million, right? So, they're in the $6 million, $7 million range.
He will be more than that.
That's the thing, is he's going to be more, but like how much more? Because I've seen some articles say he's going to get $40 million 5 years. I've seen articles say he's going to get 6 years, $7 million a year. And I'm like, okay. So it's all over the place, right? We don't know how long it's going to be. And from my perspective, if we plan on keeping Jordan Groshans, because this guy's a third baseman shortstop, by the way, and if we plan on keeping Jordan Groshans, well, we're not signing like a shortstop after next season, after the offseason with the surplus of shortstops in the free agency next season, I'd want this guy to, be around for maybe 3 to 4 years. Take a shot. Think of it as like an audition, for the team. Of course, you're going to sign him to a major league contract. You can't sign this guy to a minor league contract. He's going to get a major league contract, absolutely. But yeah, I would see it as a 3 to 4 year audition. and I'd pay him. Oh boy, this is the part where I keep bouncing back because I want to say like 8 to 9 million a year maybe is what I'm willing to do, and no more. So maybe 3 years, 27 million. That's what I would do.
Well, and you know what? That's very reasonable. Now, one thing that you got to consider, and I don't know the exact numbers here, but there is a rule as far as taking someone from the KBO and bringing them to the major leagues.
Yeah.
And if we were to sign him, and I'm making this up, but if we were to assign him to, a $100 million deal,
Right.
then I think you need to pay his team 20% additional. So instead of just paying $100 million, you're actually paying $100 million to him, and then 20 more million to his team.
Yeah.
So you got to keep that in mind for looking at a deal.
I've got the numbers here, and it's 25 million or less. You got to pay 20%, but then if it's over 25 million, it becomes like 17.5 plus the 5 million, or so 17.5% over what it is 25 million plus 5 million. So for example, if you sign him to a $30 million contract, you're paying him 30%, like 30 million, like you said, and then you're paying his team 5.875, right?
Yeah.
And that is 5 million plus the percentage, which would be $875,000.
Yes.
So it's something to consider. So, roughly, if we were going with that $27 million contract, we were paying an extra like $4.5 to $5 million. Do the math.
I think
for
it'd
him.
be even more than that, right? Because you said over 25 million, and you have to pay the team 5 million plus 17.5%. Is that right?
Over 25 million. So if he's like a 1 million over, like if he's 26 million, he's 1 million over 25 million. Then you pay 17.5% of that 1 million. So whatever is over 25 million.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it would be roughly around that area there.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it boils down to this. I think I do want him on the team, and I think that looking at, and you're right, this is a projection system, but everything is projection. Like we don't know if Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is going to be good. We're projecting that he's going to be good. We don't know what anyone's going to do, but I think the consensus is this guy looks juicy, and the upside is very much there. So it comes down to this, and this is the question that I kind of came up with.
Right.
If you're the Blue Jays, and you're looking at someone like Kolten Wong, and you're looking at someone like Kim, you're looking at their ceiling. And I think that Kim has a higher ceiling.
Definitely.
I think that Wong has a safer floor.
Definitely.
I think that Kim is going to be better offensively, potentially.
Maybe.
And I think that Wong is going to be better defensively.
Definitely.
Do the Blue Jays want a potential diamond in the rough offensive stud, or do the Blue Jays want a safe floor, bottom of the lineup defensive rock?
You know what I want? I want that diamond in the rough. Look, our whole team is diamond in the roughs. Let's get more diamond in the roughs. God damn it. Okay? I want all these diamond in the roughs working together and becoming a beautiful diamond team. Now, of course, I want an already true diamond to guide these potential diamonds to become diamonds. You know what I mean? Which is like, the George Springer and the Bowers and the whatevers. But I want a guy who is the potential to be that great. And this guy is the guy, and I'm willing to ship out an over $20 million contract for him.
Yeah, no, I think so. Me too. And I think part of it comes to the fact that realistically, this guy's exciting.
Yes,
like
yeah.
Wong. Don't get me wrong. Like I see you, bro. I see you, but like it's boring. It's boring.
I know what I'm getting. I've been here before.
I know what I'm getting. I'm not like expecting, and realistically, it's like I know what I'm getting, and there could be regression. Like I'm not expecting a giant boost in your stats right now.
Yeah.
Kim, I look at it like I'm playing Mario Kart. And you got that box, you got that mystery box, and you hit the mystery box, and you go, okay, you know what? I could get one lonely banana. I could get one lonely slippery banana. Or I could get the fucking, Mario star power.
Or the rocket.
Or the bloody rocket. Or the bloody rocket that propels me to being right up there, right up front.
Yeah.
If this guy truly is a diamond in the rough, guess what? We don't need to go out and get a George Springer anymore next year. We don't need to go out and buy another one of those big already people, because now we have this guy on what would look by then to be a great contract, mixing in with our other already guys.
Yeah.
That would be big.
Oh yeah. And look, we gotta cut corners eventually. I mean, like, there's gonna come a time, guys, when we have to sign the young guys back. And we're going to have to start losing people. So I want to have people already there to replace their potential, right? And this guy's perfect for that. He's absolutely perfect. Now, I know there's people out there that are already going to be commenting like, but you know, guys, Wong is a gold glove defender. Like he's great. He's a great player. Like, we need him. Don't get me wrong. Like, he's a great player, but the potential upside is way more, and I want to hit big. I'm a gambling man.
Yes.
I'm a gambling man.
That's what it comes down to. That is literally what it comes down to for me, is the fact that I see you, Kolten Wong. If we get him, no, I will not be disappointed. But would I rather have Kim, somebody who maybe, and you know, and that's what's interesting, is this projection system is talking about him being Dansby Swanson on average.
Yeah.
And they're not talking about that as being his ceiling. It might be, but that's what they think he will become, and I would be very happy with those numbers for that price, and to have him batting, you know, I don't even. Okay, there's question number 2. Question number 2. Where would he bat in the lineup if we sign him?
It all depends if he's a rocket or he's a banana, you know. like I have no. To start off, he's gonna bat in the bottom 4.
Lower.
He's gonna bat in the bottom 4.
Lower. Yes.
Yes.
Like right.
he's gonna bat there. You're not gonna sign this guy and put him in the top of the lineup. There's no way.
And is he the starting third baseman?
If Vladdy doesn't move over there, and he could also play shortstop too, which I wouldn't put him over there over Bo.
No.
So yeah, he'd be starting third baseman.
I like that for that. I like that as well, because that doesn't mean, you know, we have to get Wong. Now Wong's at second. Biggio maybe goes outfield, maybe goes third. We have to move a couple more pieces around. This guy can immediately go to third base, plop him right in there, and now it's like we have an additional prospect in our system. And if he is a rocket, if he is the freaking, you know, star power, then Jordan Groshans now immediately becomes available for trade, which is another big piece that could potentially get us assets, like Blake Snell, like in our last video.
Exactly. We need to just acquire more, guys. We need to use our brains, because right now the management's just like, they're shooting, of course, and let's shoot at one of these guys.
Yeah,
like
I'm way more interested in shooting at a cheaper, high upside potential guy than shooting at you know, a big star-studded. I'm definitely interested in that as well. But it's like, we know exactly what we're getting right now, and we're paying that value for it. Whereas this guy, we could get a steal of a deal and hit big.
Yeah. So I think you guys already know the answer of the question. Would you rather have Kim or Wong? And it's Kim.
Yeah, I'd rather have that guy.
Absolutely. Guys, who would you rather have? Would you rather have Ha-Seong Kim, or would you rather have the Golden Glover, Kolten Wong? Let us know in the comments down below.
You can also make sure to check us out on Spotify, Breaker, Anchor, Radio Public, and Google Podcasts. Instagram, always popping off. And make sure to subscribe to the channel here. We really appreciate it. Also, Patreon, shout out and thank you to all of our Patreon members. Once again, it is so appreciated.
And thank you so much for watching.
Go Jays, go.